Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.
This is UMAR for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. First proper sit down I've had with Mr. Anthony Yarde in a while. How was life?
It's been a minute. My life's good, man. My life's great. I even tweeted, I think it was last night or the day before. Life is great.
Kids in there at Box Up Crime. Stephen's doing a great job.
You know, we're here at BoxCom. I just finished training. Had some sparring. The kids session started at 5:30. So, you know, you got to share the gym with the future. That's the kids.
Absolutely, that was you one day.
Exactly. No, but I didn't start that young, so it's good for me to see these kids not have to go through some of the things I went through or make some of the mistakes I made. Because again, a lot of people that got the same kind of background as me that made something of themselves. Again, like Ahara Davis was just in here, Stephen Addison, and many others. Again, where you can call it luck. They say luck is when preparation meets opportunity, but there's luck in other ways as well. Me personally, I like to just say it's thanks to God, because things can always turn out in different ways. You know, you've seen it with other people. Yes, I'm very, very grateful. Life is great.
You think about that every day?
Every single day of my life. Every day of my life. I had a conversation yesterday. It was an in-depth conversation with me and a couple of my boys. And we were just talking about, like, one of my friends again, he's been stabbed multiple times, got a plate in his chest, all that kind of stuff. And he was just saying he still thanks God. He just thanks God he's still here. You know, he spoke about people being born, you know, with a disadvantage, and the special ones make that their advantage, if that makes sense. My other friend was just talking about things he's been through. I was talking about things I've been through, and it all reverts back to the same thing, just thanking God. Again, when I went through the situation with the COVID, with losing family members, etc., I just said, look, the other people around the world going through the same thing, even worse. There's some countries where worse things are happening. Believe that, we just don't hear about it. So, you know, just about taking the good with the good, taking the bad with the bad, and just trying to make it as best of an outcome as possible.
I could tell that Spellman win. It doesn't matter if it was Spellman, that just getting out, boxing again and getting a W meant a lot to you. You didn't sleep that night for a long time. And because of obviously what's happened this year, it did mean a lot to you, didn't it?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. What a lot of people do here is they forget, or they get, there's not really a word for it. There's not really a word for it, but they get so caught up in their life here, they forget about the reality. And the reality is, you just want to fight. You know, you're another step closer to achieving your goals. You're going for your dreams. Loads of other things. A win is a win. End of story. That's why there's a common saying in boxing: I respect anyone that dares to get in that ring and have a professional boxing bout. So, yeah, all that's gone on this year, that win meant just that little bit more extra. That's that specialness was behind it.
What time did you actually go to sleep?
Bruv, after that fight, you know what, it wasn't only because of that fight. That usually happens. You know, after a fight, you're buzzing, you're trying to keep up to date with all the news that's happened. People are messaging you. You can't reply to everybody, obviously, but there's a lot that goes on. You're thinking about what meal you're gonna have, which desserts. You're thinking about loads of things. You just want to chill out. There's not really any pressure for the next 24, 48 hours. You just want to relax. So sometimes you're just up, your adrenaline's still buzzing, and yeah, you just keep going, man.
And we had Frank Warren on BT Sport the other night at the show, at Liam Williams' show, confirm that you and Lyndon Arthur will be boxing December 5th.
Yes.
Obviously that's slightly changed as well. You were going to be main event, but Tyson Fury will be boxing in London in the Wilder Fights off. So you will be on the undercard to Tyson Fury. But just let's talk about Lyndon Arthur firstly. Everyone asked you about Buatsi'S, and even when we were leading to that Spellman fight was about Buatsi'S, and we knew that Arthur fight was penciled in, but no one was really still asking questions about Arthur. Let me just ask you directly, what do you make of Lyndon Arthur as a fighter? He's got a lot of pedigree. What do you make of him as a fighter?
Again, I don't know too much about him in terms of boxing, but he's a boxer. All I do know is that he's still undefeated. I don't know what his record is, but he's undefeated. Got a decent knockout ratio. To me, it's just another fight. Got to get the job done. Everyone knows my style, entertainment, winning by knockout, keep moving up the ladder. But again, I take each opponent very, very seriously. I didn't take Dex Spellman as no joke whatsoever. I kept saying that in the build-up. People kept talking about the fights after. I said, bro, my focus is on Lyndon, what's his name? Dex Spellman. And again, any question about anybody else, I'm going to say my focus right now is Lyndon Arthur. My focus is always myself first. But again, in terms of getting the job done, the next fight I'm talking about is against Lyndon Arthur.
December 5th isn't that far away. Are you happy to be out twice in such quick succession? A lot of fighters during this time haven't even been able to get out once, so to get two fights in 2 paydays, hopefully 2 wins, and build towards a massive 2021 must be grateful.
I'm grateful for every second. I'm even grateful for sitting here talking to you. Grateful for the session I just had, and life is great, man. I'm literally, for the past however many weeks, I've just been in I spoke about this before, being in my own little bubble. That bubble is rising. Again, I'm just in my own little world, and I'm just happy, man. You know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but if you're worrying about all the negatives, you're pissed, because everyone goes through some sort of negatives. Do you get me?
Yeah, otherwise it would be just a weird life full of positives. Yeah.
Just be a weird life. There's a lot of talk again. Royal Albert Hall, December 5th. Hopefully all goes to plan, because again, we was meant to fight quite a while ago, early in the year. Now it's moved to the end of the year. We both had a fight in between. Same opponent. He went 12 rounds. I knocked out the Spellman in the 6th, like I said I would. He said that it was his leftovers. I said, well, should have finished the dinner. No, all jokes aside. I just hope that it all goes to plan, man. Because again, how we're living right now, we don't know what's going to go on. We don't know what's happening next. We don't know if we're actually fighting. We don't know if they're going to get the venues. We was meant to fight O2 in November. Again, they got moved again, so it's all about staying focused.
Well, if it does come off, obviously you've built yourself into one of the biggest names in the sport, especially in the UK, and you become a headline act. But I mean, there's only a couple of people that would headline over you, and it's a rare circumstance where Tyson Fury obviously has had 3 or 4 fights in the States, but he will be boxing in London, and one of, if not the biggest stars in the sport. It must be good to be on his undercard now, and he's sharing a bill with him.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I've got a lot of respect for Tyson Fury, what he's accomplished. He's always defied the odds of boxing, man. You know what? This is another story people probably don't know. When I first started boxing, when I was with Tony Cisse took me to Derek Chisora versus Tyson Fury, the first fight.
Yeah.
In the build-up, and I forgot who slapped who. One of them slapped each other. It was in the SSC arena. Is it SS? No, not SSC. It was in the what's the name of the arena? It's in Docklands.
MEN.
No,
Manchester.
No, it wasn't Manchester. It was in Docklands, East London.
The rematch was at the XL.
XL.
Was it? That's where the rematch was.
That's where the rematch was.
Or was both at the XL? Might be.
I think both might. I don't know. But anyway, all I remember is that one of them slapped each other. I think it was Derek Chisora slapped Tyson Fury.
Okay.
And Tyson Fury went nuts, and I said, bro, this is like professional boxing is like. This is when I first got introduced to it. So again, it's been a long time since then. Tyson Fury's accomplished everything since then. Was undefeated, beat Klitschko. Everyone wrote him off. Came out the sport, everyone knew what he went through. Going overweight, depression, mental health, and all that kind of stuff. Came back, rose to the top. Beat the hardest puncher that the heavyweight's known for quite a while. Drew with him first fight, and second fight made a statement. He's a fantastic career, man. He's somebody that I pay a lot of homage to,
Well, that's only come about because the third fight with Wilder's off.
Yes.
You surprised about that? What was your reaction when you heard about that?
No, because right now we don't know what's going on. That's just me. That's just being honest. I haven't really been keeping up to date with all the rumours, because that's all they are. They're rumours. Unless you're in them meetings and you're actually going back and forth, and you're one of the lawyers or you're one of the promoters or one of the fighters. It's all he say, she say. You don't really know. So I'm not really surprised the fight's not happening yet, because it takes a lot to build that kind of fight. There's a lot of money that goes into it. When people are not sure, it just don't make sense. That's my picture that I paint from it. I wouldn't want that fight to be behind closed doors as well. So we have to wait and see, innit?
Yeah, we have to. But it's the Tyson Fury and Anthony Yarde show on December 5th, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
Roll out, but all as well. I mean, if they can pull that off, like during these times as well, potentially get like a few fans in as well. Frank can get the champagne out and the dinners. Charge a lot for the tickets. Who knows where we might be in December?
Exactly. That would be good. Bring the old school tactics in with the dinners and things like that. Again, we said that this was going to happen in November, and I keep going back to it because we actually don't know what's going to go on. That's what my mind's set on now anyway. December 5th, and we just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Stay positive. Stay focused. Get the victories in the best style, best way we know how.
Do you know that's Frank Warren's 40th year in boxing as well?
God damn.
That weekend in December.
Frank Warren's a veteran. That's what I'm saying. When you're paying homage to people, yeah, Frank Warren has done everything in the sport of boxing. He changed the game.
Let me tell them to calm down a little bit.
You know what? These kids, this is what I'm trying to say. Listen, right now we're at BoxCom Prime. The kids are out here enjoying themselves. I would have left them to it, to be honest. Because they're in there training hard, making noise, doing what needs to be done. A lot of them are trying to impress me. But no, they're very good kids, man. I don't know what age group this is, but they're all kids. And I think they got the older session at, what's the time now? Yeah, the older session's at 7:30, so an hour. That's the kind of work that BoxCom is doing with these kids. 3 sessions, that's not happening nowhere else, to anyone under 19, and it's to give kids an opportunity. I never had the opportunity of having free training. But again, it gives these kids, because the world's changing. The world's changing, so these kids need something to occupy their minds, because again, nowadays we've got social media. People becoming more and more depressed, image conscious, loads of things, through social media, through all the other things, Snapchat filters, Instagram filters. Everyone wants to look perfect. I want to look, most people, I want to put a filter on this guy. I got a little, I spa today, when you get the little. But that's the world we're living in, and it's a serious thing. Not only in the way people look, it's in people having money. So people have stopped being motivated by seeing people with nice things and started to feel like down in themselves. That's what I can't understand, and that has to be some sort of conditioning that's gone on, because when I saw Floyd Mayweather with all these nice things, I was just so happy for him. I was like, look what he's accomplished, man. Look what he's doing with his life. And then you got your other people that are just hating, upset, the fact that he's got all these things and that he's worked for it. When I saw Mike Tyson and mink coats and all these kind of things, that's what I'm saying, it's motivation for me. That's what I'm saying, the first ever chain I got, I'm a person, I love jewelry. The first chain I got, it had to be my logo. It had to be my logo to just signify to me, nobody else, but to me, how hard I've worked, what I've worked for. I had things put in place beforehand. I'm not a city boy, not a city man. Properties need to get bought first. You need to make investments, and things like that. But again, you got to enjoy yourself at the same time. Balance. balance is key.
Look at that. Normally, if I had to go, I'd have to cut for a bit, but Anthony's just talking 3 or 4 minutes straight to the camera.
Straight into the camera. That's what I'm saying. Raw and uncut. This is how I like doing my interviews. Raw and uncut, because you get the rawness of things. The kids, I would have told them to keep shouting and making noise, because that's real. That's what I'm saying. Right now we're in Box.crime, and this is what goes on, man. The kids came at the end of my session. They're coming in. I'm seeing some of them go, "Wow, that's him." There's a picture of me and Wall. That's him. And then they come over and speak to me, take pictures. You know, I interact with them, because, oh man, I've seen what some of these kids go through. One of the, I don't even call him a kid. He's 16, but he's a big youth. He's massive. And he tells me about things he's going through and how he's coping with it, asks for advice. It takes me nothing, you know, a little 3 minutes of my time to talk to him. And again, I see the progression in him, man. That's heartfelt, trust me. You see him focus, you see what he's doing. There's other people, there's a boy that comes to this gym here, was a bad breed boy. So bad, do so many things. Knife crime, gang crime, doing all sorts, yeah. He said to me the other day, he wants to be a horse rider. Young black boy said he wants to be a horse rider. I just started clapping. I said, see, this is what we need. People not being scared of doing the different. Do you get what I'm saying? Look at Tiger Woods. Imagine Tiger Woods before he became Tiger Woods. Imagine Tiger Woods before he became Tiger Woods, when he said he wants to be a golfer.
Growing up in America as a young black man.
Growing up in America, a young black man. And when he first even said it to people he knew, I want to be a golfer, people looked at him, can't play golf. There was Serena, the Williams sisters, same thing, tennis. Again, the world changes and there's always one that starts things off. So when he said that, I started clapping. I made everyone listen. I said, you hear that? He's brave enough and he knows his passion. A lot of kids would be like, nah, I don't want to do that because it's embarrassing. Other people ain't doing that, so I don't want to do it. So I commended him. I really, really commended him, man. Yeah, that boy got my respect after that.
Of course, people in this gym are going to speak to you all the time and look for inspiration. I'm sure that gives you a lot of satisfaction, giving them inspiration. Mm-hmm. What about outside the gym, when you're just walking around? What's like the most popular question you get asked? From random people, I'm talking.
How much money you got? I swear to you, bro. These are the questions I get. How much money you got? When's your next fight? Why didn't you beat Kovalev, man? Loads of things. You know, I saw your last fight. Fight this person. You should fight that person. Someone told me, I want you to knock out Anthony Joshua, man. I was like, why? Why do you want me to knock out Anthony Joshua? What did he do to you? He was like, I want you to fight Mayweather. I'm just like, Bobby. It's a common thing. People don't know about boxing. They don't know about weight classes. Similar to me, before I started boxing and I saw Mike Tyson, I was like, bro, there's just a small guy knocking out all these other massive guys. I don't know about weight classes or nothing like that. I do nothing about it. So again, I'm not one of the people that been like, I don't even explain myself. I'm like, yeah, come on, that's the next fight. You gotta banter it off, man.
But you get asked a lot about Buatsi'S, like just on a street.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's one of the questions I get asked. That boy Buatsi'S, man. Some people can't even pronounce his name. He gets asked the same thing. Again, me and him have actually had a conversation, and he gets annoyed with the questions. I get annoyed with the questions. Every time he fights, every time I fight, he says the same thing back and forth. But again, it's a build-up. It's a good build-up. Sorry, that's my old cellular. No, but that's the build-up. That's what happens in boxing. That's what it's about. I'm sure that all the other big fighters out there, same questions get asked. And I'm a person, I feel like I've worked extremely hard to get myself to this position. I went the unorthodox route. I do see myself as a motivation type of kid. Not a role model, but motivation. Because I went about things my own way. When I first got into boxing, 19 years old, I got told all sorts. You have to go to Olympics. You have to get into Team GB. You have to do this. And then that was my goals. I said, that's what I'm going to try and do then. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. And then things didn't go my way. It's a little another backstory, you know. I won the box cup, under 20 bouts, and then I only had 6 fights at the time, but they wouldn't, because I had all knockouts, and because I knocked out my first opponent, no one wanted to fight me, everyone pulled out, so I had to go into the class above, done the same thing, I knocked out everybody. And after that, I joined the ABA novices under 20 bucks. I knocked out the first opponent. I won't say his name, but he won it the previous year before. And then, but they just done some madness. They said I couldn't box in the next round because I had 2 white collar fights before I started the amateurs, and that they were gonna put the fights on there as part of my record. So cool, waiting for my card. The next round came, no card. They couldn't find the card. So I'm like, okay. So they're like, oh, no card, no boxing. That was their excuse. No card, no boxing. Really disrespectful and rude. Tony C said at the time was angry. He said, I'm gonna go sit in the ring. I'll throw chairs. They're taking a mic. Something just told me. Usually I'm the one that get angry. Something told me, I said, Tony, relax. Whatever's meant to happen is gonna happen. And he was like, what are you talking about? You're meant to be fighting, blah, blah, blah. You'll win this easy. You've already beat the guy that's won it I was like, everything that's meant to happen is gonna happen. And I took him out the arena, and Tony was so angry. And the competition continued. A guy won it that I knew of. A guy won it that I had previously beat. So again, if you win little competitions like this, it puts you in the rankings and going up or whatever. And then my path was just the path I took, basically. You know, I carried on boxing. I couldn't, after that ABA novices, I couldn't get a fight for over a year. Over 1 whole year went when I couldn't get no fights. And I just carried on training. Day in, day out. Met Tunde Ajayi, carried on training. Actually, I knew Tunde before that, actually, but carried on training with Tunde and Tony Cisse, going back and forth. 2015, turned professional. I remember it was May 2015, turned professional.
It's an interesting backstory, yeah?
Come on.
You know what you're saying about the build up to this Buatsi'S fight? I said the same thing to him on his fight week. I said it's very rare that there's such demand for a fight when there's no trash talk.
Oh yeah.
When you think about it though, properly, when do you get so much demand for a fight when neither fighters has said one negative thing about each other?
It's energy, baby. It's energy. People know that I'm a dangerous fighter. People know he's a dangerous fighter. He's got a very experienced background in the amateurs. Won a bronze medal. I was one of the people rooting for him when he was in the Olympics. I was rooting for him heavy. This is before I even knew what weight class I wanted to do in boxing. I was rooting for him. Again, he came up short against a guy from Kazakhstan or something like that. So he got good memory, you know, still sharp. And again, I saw him after he was upset and things like that. But then again, he came back. I turned professional before him. He gave me nothing but respect when he first came into the game. So yeah, whenever he got asked about me, he said Anthony's doing his job. He's doing a fantastic job. I can't fault him. And again, Joshua Buatsi'S done his thing. You know, I can't fault him. People kept sending me his last fight, saying, "Oh, look at his eye, he struggled or whatever." I said, "Well, it's boxing, G. It's boxing. Don't dampen this thing." He's still a dangerous fighter. Me and him are still gonna fight. Anyone that gets in that ring, you know, there's a lot of pressure on us as well. Because again, I've got to do my job, he's got to do his job. But I've been saying this in interviews. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. He's going to continue to do what he's doing. We're going to clash, we're both going to win. And then the fans are going to win also.
I know people, you just said, were sending you stuff about his fight with Calic, where, as boxing is, you had one brilliant fight, you're the next big thing, and you're a superstar, and you had one, in Buatsi'S own words, poor performance, and everyone starts writing you off.
Yeah.
Have you watched the fight at all? No.
I haven't. That's what I'm saying. It's like my focus right now is Lyndon Arthur. I didn't even watch. Actually, I was forced to watch Lyndon Arthur's fight. Everyone knew that story, where BT arranged something around me watching the fight, with them filming me watching the fight, giving my feedback, etc. It was a very, very boring fight, but again, he got the job done. In my opinion, he won almost every round. But then again, I don't watch fighters unless I feel like I'm learning something from them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the biggest fights. So again, I'm gonna watch the Errol Spence against Danny Garcia. I know both guys very well on a personal level, and they both got to the top of their game. You know, both world champions. Errol Spence right now is known as an assassin. You know, he's beating everybody in fantastic fashion. And in my opinion, he's probably right now he's next in the welterweight division to do damage and do the thing. Danny Garcia, I know him as well, fantastic fighter. extremely fantastic fight. So that's why I'm very excited about the fight. I'm actually upset that they're fighting each other, can't lie. But they're both going to get good money from it, so I'm happy for both of them. Yeah, it's all about what's the next, man. Me and Joshua are going to fight, and it'll be good. It'll be a fantastic event. Come on, one more question. It's not about boxing.
Not about boxing.
I'll put you on the spot now, B.
Has your mentality changed where there's been more time to think? Obviously, I'm not talking about this period because you're back in training, you've had a fight, etc. But you know when we were first in a proper lockdown, so like March till kind of May, where everyone had loads of time to reflect, everyone had a lot of spare time basically, and obviously you had a tough time. But even before that, where you lost loved ones, did anything change? Did you say you're going to make any changes for yourself, not even physically or anything, but in your mentality? Or not, perhaps you didn't, but I'm just saying a lot of people did.
I just didn't. Again, my mentality's been strong for a minute, and I just found out more about myself. You know, they say that you can say what you want. You can say all the things you want in the world. You can say I'm strong, got a heart of a lion. You can say all these things, but it's not proven. And all I've done was prove to myself that I've got a very strong character. A lot of people could not have went through what I went through, concentrated on the fight, won in very good fashion, and stayed positive. A lot of people couldn't do that, so I'm one of the people, I try not to focus on any negative things. And again, the only thing it really taught me is to pay more attention to the things that are important in life. And that's for, again, family, making something of yourself. When I do have kids, I want them set. I want them set, so they don't have to go through some of the things I went through. But at the same time, they'll be taught right. Hopefully, hopefully I find the right woman, or hopefully it's the right woman that bears me children, and she has that mentality as well. Because they say people change when they have kids. My mum's always lecturing me saying, better choose the right woman or whatever. And then, yeah, man, that's what it's about. That is definitely what it's about, keeping a strong mentality. And I think that's what I proved during this whole lockdown thing. And
then have them little lions.
Yeah, I'm saying get the cubs in.
Cubs, yeah.
You know what, let's not talk that into existence, because I don't feel like I'm ready for kids yet. there's a lot going on. Let's not talk that into existence. But yeah, man, it's just about staying positive and motivating the next generation.
Alright, AY, we'll leave it there.
Come on.
Best of luck for the rest of the camp. Let's hopefully get this fight on December 5th.
Yes.
In this ever-changing world. But yeah, I'm sure Frank, we're going to put out all the stops to get this on with you and then after.
Yes, come on, lions in the camp.
Respect.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.